All right, so imagine this. I'm just sitting down to relax. It's been a really hectic day, a lot going on. And I sit down to finally get to some of my YouTube comments, which I appreciate very much. Thank you for the support, the suggestions, everything. But I read this one comment from somebody who shall remain nameless, but her initials might be BG. And she said how cute these little accordion books were, you know, these twist books, but that she was going to investigate whether she could just use heavier cardstock and not make covers. And that made me laugh. But it was a valid question. And for those of us who don't enjoy making bookish things, I am not one of them, it might be simpler and quicker and maybe more satisfying for some of you to just use cardstock. So I decided I need to give it a try so I could put this to rest and see if I can get results that are satisfactory to me. And I tend to really like these books with, you know, using the chipboard or the cereal box or whatever you have, but let's give it a go. Now I'm using 2 new kits that I made already once, and a friend came by and needed to have them. So I thought, well, I'll make them again. So what I've done is I have 2 different printouts for the backs and fronts. I have 65-pound cardstock and 110-pound cardstock. And yes, this is pink. I thought I would use up some pinkish stock that I don't really need. And then I've got this page, which I printed the pattern on the back, and the small page, and this will be a twist book, and this will be a simple 3-panel accordion. So I'm going to cut these out. You're going to cut them out just the same way that you would do it. However, what I'm going to suggest you do, when you're making the separate book covers like this, you cut these apart. But now I'm going to suggest don't cut them apart. Let's score it right here because we have to trim it down anyway. Because these are 4 inches and we want our finished book to be 3 1/4. And if we're not covering other cardboard, we're going to have to trim. So I'm going to do the same thing to both of them. I'm just going to look up here so I can see about where the glue needs to be so I don't go too crazy. So remember, we're trimming these down. So we don't need to go any farther out than the edge of the artwork. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to all 4. All right, I'll cut out those covers separately. So for this, I need to cut out everything and keep, no, I don't need to keep a tab. We don't need to keep a tab. Never mind. We're just going to cut this out right as you would. We're taking out no tabs because we're not joining this together. We're making it single. So all of the actual construction instructions are on the original video. Okay, so this one gets folded like so. And along the score. Okay, that. This one, same thing. Okay, so we have those ready and these ready. So now, oh, I have to cut these. Be right back. Okay, so I've trim these down to the artwork as I would if I were using the artwork to fold over cardboard. And I can tell you right now that my gut is it's possible with some reservations. So again, remember, our paper is only 3 inches and we only need 3 1/4 inch square for the covers. So we need to trim this down. Now, since I'm not designing it for this purpose, the kit's designed to go around the cardboard, we need to decide which of the area that we want to use for the cover. So if we're going to do it at 3 1/4, I think I want to use mostly, if I go from here to here, I almost cut his head off. So I'm going to bring it down a little. I'm going to go this way if you don't mind, because I'm going to trim, and I don't want to trim his head off. So I'm going to put this at 3 1/4-ish, and know that if I cut here, I will not cut his head off. Now normally I would use my little cropping tool to double check this, but that's okay. We're going to go for it. So now I'm just going to trim this at 3 inches. I'm sorry, at 3 1/4. There we go. So this will be one of my covers, and I would definitely, see, I didn't look at the other side. That's okay. I would definitely round some corners, and probably just with the little one. I think, yeah, just the little guy. Oh, it barely likes this, but it managed. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the other 110 pound. And I'm going to trim these down, be back. All right, they're trimmed, they're inked, they've got rounded corners, we're ready to go. So now I need to decide how I'm going to do the innards. Now this one, I think I'm going to do the folded, glued accordion style, and I'm going to use the lighter weight because that way I'm gluing actually 2 pieces of paper to here. And that's going to give this a little bit more stability, and that will make me happy. So normally you could do it either way, either glue it closed first or glue it closed second. It does not matter. Or, you know, glue it closed after the fact. But so I'm going to glue it closed after the fact, because who knows, I might change my mind. Highly unlikely, because it's white on the inside. But now I have to just make sure I want, you know, which ones I want to show. I like this one. And this one's going to show if I do it this way, and that, yeah. So I'm going to cover up this one. It's just, I'm just making choices, artistic choices. I don't have to really do that right now. I'm just trying to demonstrate this, but I'm going to wind up with a book I like. So then I have to decide who's going to be the cover. I think, again, you'll be the cover and you'll be the back cover. So I'm going to stick this here. Again, this is all covered in the official how-to video. This is just an option that Ms. BG has me wanting to try. All right, and then we're going to put some glue on this one. And there's nothing that says your tops and bottoms have to be aligned. I mean, you could have one head upside down, one head right side up. Does not matter. I'm going to keep mine both right side up. And again, I am aligning the covers at this point, not so much the pages. All right. And I'll hit it with a little of this. And, you know, I don't hate it. I thought I was going to seriously hate it because it was so flimsy compared to what I normally make, but I don't hate it. So let's see. The only thing for me is that it took about as long to cut and trim the printed cardboard, the printed cardstock, as it did to make just a printout and cover some cardboard. So there's that to consider. All right, we're going to close this baby up. Wow, that's pretty striking. Okay, so there's one, and again, it works. You can do it, definitely. Paper only, you know, cardstock only, no actual covers to stress you out. Now let's see how this one. Now this one I can tell you right now, I'm not going to hate because it's already pretty sturdy. 2 layers of 110. You might be able to get away with 1 layer and it would feel a little thinner than this, because remember this is 65 but doubled. So again, it's your call, it's your thing. So now I have to figure out this way and how I'm going to have it fold. All right, so here, I'm gonna fold it this way. Oh, that's too bad, I like that one. But it's gonna go either way. No matter what I do, these two go, or those two go. No, these two go. So, what did I say? I was gonna do this guy on the front and this guy on the bottom. I'm going to open this up. Beautiful. Oh, didn't I decide I was going to go the other way? Well, I didn't, and you get the point. That's okay. Now the beautiful side is the outside. I don't think I can cover it up. I mean, I don't think I can take it apart. But either way, this has lots of place for collage and other things that can be added. A little love note here. And I don't hate this one. So let's compare it to like this one. Or let's compare it to this one, which is the same kind. So yeah, this is definitely more sturdy. There's no doubt about it. This does not bend. So just know that. This does bend, but not in an offensive way. So if you are really against doing the covered cover, feel free to do the uncovered cover and just cut them out. I would again double them up, because certainly with the 65, and there's no way this is going to be a hard enough book, but you could very simply put this in a journal, and it's actually very nice that it's thinner and could tuck into a lot of places. It's not much thicker, well, a little thicker than a tag. So there you have it. So it's a great idea, Barbara, to use other papers. They both work. You have lots of options, and I'll stick with this for some things, but I might just do these other types for other projects. So I did make one with the squares on the inside, which is what I had intended to do. And I actually like these more than I thought I would. I'm just being honest. I will probably mainly make them with the traditional cardstock or cardboard way, but these have their applications. I mean, I could definitely see tucking these into journals and even envelopes. So let me know if you make this version and the other version, or which you prefer, if you've made either. Drop me a note in the comments, because I would be interested in your experience with both techniques. Thank you very much. See you next time.